Hello everybody, my name is Jason Presley. I am a senior here at Pekin Community High School, and this year I will be your Master of Ceremonies. I just wanted to say welcome to the 2019-2020 National Honor Society virtual ceremony, and despite the shortened year, our National Honor Society members logged close to 600 hours of community service. I just want to say congratulations to all of those National Honor Society members, and next year I know we can do just as well.
Standing in a crowded room and I can't see your face. Put your arms around me, tell me everything's okay. In my mind I'm running around a cold and empty space. Just put your arms around me, tell me everything's okay. Break my bones, but you won't see me fall. Oh, the rising tide will rise against them all. Oh, darling, hold my hand. Oh, won't you hold my hand? 'Cause I don't wanna walk on my own anymore. Won't you understand? 'Cause I don't wanna walk alone. I'm ready for this. There's no denying. I'm ready for this. You stop me falling. I'm ready for this. I need you holding. I'm ready for this. So darling, hold my hand. Soul is like a melting pot when you're not next to me. Tell me that you got me and you're never gonna leave. Trying to find a moment where I can find relief. Please tell me that you got me and you're never gonna leave. Break my bones, but you won't see me fall. Oh, the rising tide will rise against them all. Oh, darling, hold my hand. Oh, won't you hold my hand? 'Cause I don't wanna walk on my own anymore. Won't you understand? 'Cause I don't wanna walk alone. I'm ready for this. There's no denying. I'm ready for this. You stop me falling. I'm ready for this. I need you holding. I'm ready for this. So darling, hold my hand. Don't wanna know that feeling when I'm all alone. So please don't make me wait, 'cause I don't wanna break. No, I don't wanna fall. When you're next to me, content I'm not afraid to be. You don't make me wait and never let me break. You never let me fall. Darling, hold my hand. 'Cause I don't wanna walk on my own anymore. Won't you understand? 'Cause I don't wanna walk alone. I'm ready for this. There's no denying. I'm ready for this. You stop me falling. I'm ready for this. I need you holding. I'm ready for this. So darling, won't you hold my hand?
I'm so honored to have been nominated to speak on the Pillar of Character. While I'm sure none of you expected to listen to me via the internet, I'm glad we are still able to honor such hardworking and diligent students. Before writing my speech, I was curious as to how the dictionary defined character, so I headed on over to Google and searched for the best, most intriguing definition out there. To sum it up, character is a group of qualities that makes a person, group, or individual different from the others. In my opinion, character is doing the right thing when no one is watching. Character is persevering when life gets hard, speaking up when nobody has courage, and staying positive despite the hardship. I encourage you to think of the last time you did something kind for someone. Maybe you sent an encouraging text to a friend or called your grandma. How did you feel in that moment? Were you happy, proud of yourself? Now let me ask you another question. Why did you do it? Character isn't about doing the right thing because you have to, and it is not about following the rules because you don't want to get in trouble. To me, character goes hand in hand with morality. When you're the best version of yourself, you treat others with respect, you get the job done, and you do everything with grace. And to everyone watching this right now, I want to applaud you for making our community a better place. Each and every one of you have demonstrated honesty, reliability, concern, courtesy, and respect for others. You have proved that you can do anything you put your mind to because of your character. Character isn't a virtue that everyone has, but something everyone should strive to possess, and I believe the group of students in National Honor Society have great potential for the future because of their good behavior and fortitude. A person who comes to mind for many is Abraham Lincoln. The 16th President of the United States demonstrated good character through his honesty, compassion, and service. He never gave up his fight to abolish slavery. He didn't listen to people ridicule him or doubt him. Instead, he remained optimistic, dedicated, and driven to change America for the better. Having good character doesn't mean that you have to be the President of the United States or go down in history. You can simply just be a kind person. Give your all. Smile through the trials of life. If you change your perspective to focus on the good, then each day you'll be closer to becoming a better person. The group of people watching this are already doing well in this regard. They balance their schoolwork with their extracurricular activities and still do an impeccable job of illustrating character. By putting in hours of extra time dedicated to their studies, they've proven they have what it takes to go out and conquer the world. I'm constantly inspired by how driven they are, and while they want to admit it or not, they deserve to be recognized. That brings up the other thing. Those who have good character aren't boastful or arrogant. Instead, they're quite humble. They're not the type to brag about their successes. One's character isn't shown through their accomplishments, but rather how they build up others. And let's be real, everyone likes to be encouraged. By demonstrating good character, you'll find yourself feeling happier, and you'll make others feel good about themselves. If you're watching this video right now, I want to remind you that you are a powerful individual. You are a role model within our community and are often thought of with high regard. Whatever your future endeavors look like, I want you to go out into the world and keep shining. Showing everyone what it means to be of good character will change the world for the better. Thank you.
Throughout my time at Pekin Community High School, I've been lucky to experience many things. Disastrous chemistry experiments, exciting basketball games, and late-night car crashes have all been highlights of my high school career. But my favorite thing about my time at Pekin, by far, is the fact that I was able to spend it with so many people that exhibit scholarship each and every day. Scholarship is, at its core, something that everyone possesses. It's a natural human instinct to observe the world around us and grasp any new object that may cross our path. Those who seek to master AP statistics are scholars. Those who seek to master the perfect volleyball serve are scholars. Even those who seek to master the perfect way to style your hair in the morning are scholars. Why? Because to be a scholar is to seek to learn. Every one of us at PCHS has spent our time here learning, not necessarily because we wanted to, because let's be honest, we usually didn't want to, but because we knew that we had to. We knew that another day spent at school was another day closer to attaining our dream. We all want to spend the rest of our lives with different titles. I'm probably speaking to dozens of future doctors, nurses, engineers, architects, and so on. But what we all have in common is the road that we will take to attain these. This road, it will not be paved in sleek, shimmering gold that we skip along without a care in the world. This road is more like the one that we drive across in Pekin every day. Rough, rugged, and covered in as many potholes as a speech has unnecessary metaphors. We trudge along this path every day, never stopping in our pursuit of our dream. We stay up past midnight writing our essays, scramble to study for quizzes in the last minutes of passing period, and spend far too much time trying to make ourselves better. We are scholars. Why? Because to be a scholar is to endure anything that comes between you and trying to learn more. Scholarship is more than just learning, though. When we are confronted with a reality that may not mesh well with our own, we do not plant our feet and deafen ourselves to logic and reasoning. We open our minds and recognize the fact that we can and will be wrong. This is what ultimately leads to growth, a constant understanding that we always have more to learn. Of course, blindly following the most confident man in the room is just as bad as doing the opposite. What sets us scholars apart is that we absorb every piece of information around us and immediately question its authenticity. We never blindly follow, nor do we stubbornly resist change. Why? Because to be a scholar is to always be prepared to learn. So what do scholars do after mastering a subject? Do we continue on to bigger things, hoping to rather unrealistically master everything? Or do we finally rest, basking in our own glory? True scholars do neither of these things. I know this because of what I've seen my peers do at PCHS. Whenever my classes have faced challenging problems or confusing concepts, there has always, without exception, been at least one person who has stepped up and shared their solution. Rather than hoarding knowledge and watching as others struggle by, we scholars have never failed to look back and share the wealth. When we finish being the students, we ultimately become the teachers. Why? Because to be a scholar is to know that everyone deserves knowledge just as much as you do. Scholarship is not an easy virtue to maintain. To be a scholar, you must constantly be on the lookout for the next lesson. You must push through everything between you and your goal, never succumbing to the infinite number of distractions in life. Along the way, you must always be ready to change course and set off on a new path, no matter how confident you may have been before. When it is all said and done, and you reach your destination with nothing else in your way, you must resist the urge to pursue the next treasure and look back, ensuring that everyone can follow the same path that you did. Then and only then can you claim to have scholarship. Why? Because to be a scholar is to learn, and learn some more. Thank you.
Hello, thank you for joining us for this lovely online event. I know that none of us wanted to meet or be inducted in this way, but I'm glad that we get to have this ceremony. Ms. Calls worked very hard on it. All of these students deserve something or someone to acknowledge how hard they've all worked and how greatly they've upheld the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. It's not an easy thing to do. Today, I'm here to talk about the leadership pillar. Former U.S. President Barack Obama once said, "We did not come to fear the future, we came here to shape it." When I think of these students, I think of just that. I think of America's future doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers, and so much more, the leaders of our generation. These students do not live in fear of the future. They know that they can take down the challenges that they face. They're doing it right now this minute and have been for the past few months. They're proving to be leaders even when they can't leave the house. They're doing what they can, whether that's making masks or simply completing their homework on time. They prove to be leaders when they decide to stay home rather than go to a party or hang out with their friends. It's difficult to lead when there's only your family around you, but others can notice how dealing with the situation safely by maintaining social distancing makes you a stronger leader. You are doing the right thing and encouraging others to do the same. William Arthur Wood said that leadership is based on inspiration, not domination, cooperation, not intimidation. Leadership isn't defined by having total control over something. Leadership can be defined simply by making the right decisions. Leaders look out for others before themselves, which is much linked to the service aspect of the NHS. The students here are active members of their community, representing the school to the best of their ability. They always have been. Growing up as a child and eventual student of PCHS, I watched the members of NHS volunteer in the community, hosting educational and sports camps, working with my mom and her students, and so much more. These leaders inspired me, along with many others, to be like them, to help those around us, and encourage others to do the same. Here at PCHS, we are given endless opportunities to lead. Whether you're the captain of your team, president of your club, or a member of any type of activity, the adults here will find any way to shape you into a leader. In our years here at PCHS, we were pushed to be the leaders of groups in our class, which often meant that we had to do the schoolwork all by ourselves, to strive for A's, or even just to attend after-school meetings or documentary showings. By doing these things in our time here, we are creating a stronger example of what a good student and leader should be. My 6th grade teacher, Mrs. Gentry, lived by the saying, lead by example. Whenever we got frustrated with the other students who weren't doing their share of a presentation or maybe were just rude, she would tell us to lead by example, to do the opposite of what they were doing in order to become better people. She taught us to make the right choices because it encourages those around us to do the same. It will create a better world. At the end of the school year, almost our entire class was filled with leaders who strive to do the right thing every day. People like Mrs. Gentry who encourage us to lead by example, and those who follow that motto are some of the strongest leaders that we have. When I see the members of the 2020 National Honor Society, I see this leadership every time. I'm going to use my last few words here for the inducted juniors. You have fought so hard through high school, spending all your nights on homework and extracurriculars, supporting your family even, and getting very little rest. You have worked so hard to be where you are today. The National Honor Society will give you more of a chance to be a leader. Go to every activity that you can. They will make you smarter and stronger. Enjoy this last year. You've earned it. Be the leader that inspires others to lead as well. You can do it. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Braylon Oberly, and this is my service speech for National Honor Society. I'm unable to give this speech in person due to COVID-19. I would like to thank my fellow NHS members for choosing me to speak on their behalf of what it means to serve others. I, like many of my fellow NHS members, have lots of experience with service. I have been on 3 mission trips, a basketball camp coach for little girls, a Dragon Day leader assistant, a vacation Bible school leader, helped cook lunch for church, raked yards for the elderly, and the list goes on. But I am not here today to boast about the things I have done, but rather to share with you why I serve. The foundation for why I serve others is my faith. In the Bible, in Philippians 2:3-4, it commands, "Do nothing from selfish ambition or conceit, but in humility count others more significant than yourselves. Let each of you look not only to your own interest, but also to the interest of others." We are called to help others and put their needs before our own. Let me give you an example of this from my own life. When people are asked why they serve, the number one answer is that it makes them feel good. However, I'm here to bring you the truth. Sometimes serving others does not always feel good in the moment. This past summer, I celebrated my golden birthday. I had been dreaming of my golden birthday for months leading up to it and planning a big celebration. However, 2 weeks before my birthday, I got a call that a spot opened up on a mission trip to Oklahoma. The only dilemma was that the trip was over my birthday. I had to choose between serving myself or serving others. Thankfully, I chose to serve others and went on the mission trip. On the night leading up to my birthday, on the trip, I went to the bathroom at midnight and cried alone as I rang in my birthday. This was the first time I would celebrate my birthday away from my family and I didn't have my phone with me. A day that was supposed to be all about me was now not about me at all. However, when the morning came on my birthday, I went to my job site as usual. But instead of a normal birthday gift, I got a better one. The elderly woman who we were building a ramp for came out of her house and smiled. The brightness of her smile radiated more warmth than the 100-degree Oklahoma sun. In that moment, I realized that the greatest gift on this earth isn't serving ourselves, but it's serving others. I think it's safe to say that we all wish we could change the world. But the truth is, one person can't change the whole world. However, what if I told you that one person could change the world for another person? From a different mission trip, I can still envision those blank, hopeless eyes, big and brown, staring right into mine with no emotion, which made my heart ache and yearn to help this young girl. Andrea was an 8-year-old student at the Vacation Bible School, otherwise known as a VBS, on a mission trip. This girl had no self-confidence. She would whisper when she talked in front of large crowds. She would cling to my arm anywhere I went because she didn't want to be alone. She didn't realize her worth. Throughout the week, I praised her sidewalk chalk artwork, included her in the games we played, and pushed her to pray out loud in front of everyone during group time. The bold, bright-eyed, and confident girl that left our VBS on the last day of the week was unrecognizable from the timid and hopeless girl that walked into our VBS on the first day. Through this moment, I realized that children, teens, and adults all have untapped potential sitting inside of them. They just need a push from others to help realize it. It is like pushing a child on a swing. You give them a push to start, and then they realize they can make themselves swing by pumping their own legs. So you may not be able to change the whole world at once, but you can change the world for one person, which is a little love and compassion. When you ask people why they don't serve, the number one answer is that they simply do not have enough time or money. But let me tell you this. You could spend 2 hours watching a horrible Netflix movie, or you could spend those 2 hours volunteering. Now, I'm not saying you're not busy, because I understand from being a student athlete myself that time is limited from school, homework, sports, clubs, chores, and jobs. But how many hours a day do you spend scrolling on TikTok or Instagram? Author Sadie Robertson makes the challenge in her book called Live to replace time spent on activities that are fruitless with activities that will educate us, expand who we are, and encourage us and others. So I invite you today to examine what you spend your time on. I challenge you to replace one thing that you spend your time on that is fruitless and replace it with something that will help someone else. As for money, I understand that money doesn't grow on trees, as all of our parents like to remind us growing up. But how do you feel when you're wearing your $100 Patagonia sweatshirt when the kid at school can't even afford a sweatshirt at all? So why can't we buy a sweatshirt that isn't a brand name so that we could be generous enough to pay for someone else's sweatshirt too? When we die, we want to have made an impact on this earth. When you go to heaven, you can't take your brand new Jordan tennis shoes with you, and that whole 8-season Netflix series you just spent all your time watching means nothing now. But that Saturday that you spent 2 hours volunteering at your local soup kitchen, you sat and talked with the young girl that walked through that line. Because you invested time talking to her, you gave her the confidence she needed to go to that job interview and crush it. Now she has a stable job, and instead of being in line at the soup kitchen, she's on the other side of the counter volunteering. One act of service that you did can transcend a line of service for years and years to come. When we think of service, we always think that it has to be something big, like a week-long mission trip or a large sum of money. But that's not true. Service can be something as small as smiling at someone who looks like they're having a bad day, complimenting someone who looks insecure, picking up the book for someone who dropped it in the hallway, and so on. I serve because when you follow God's lead of putting others' needs before your own, it brings purpose and fulfillment to one's life. So I will leave you with this question today. What is one way you can change someone's world for the better today, bringing purpose and fulfillment to your own life? Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2019-2020 National Honor Society virtual ceremony. My name is Jason Presley, and I will be your MC for this Zoom call. The students being honored tonight meet and maintain the various qualifications for being an NHS member. These qualifications begin with a 3.4 GPA for juniors and a 3.2 GPA for seniors. Students must also be able to show that they are the people that go the extra mile and go above and beyond even when no one's watching. The students being inducted make up the athletic teams, academic clubs, and volunteer organizations at PCHS and all over Central Illinois. These students must show outstanding character in and out of the classroom and selflessly serve their community. Tomorrow, you will be sent the digital portion of our ceremony. Part of this will include the speeches from current members reflecting the 4 pillars. These speakers, including myself, were chosen by their peers. The speaker on character is Mary Grace Patton. Austin Aiden speaks to scholarship. Brogan Gresham was chosen to speak on leadership, and Braylon Oberly is our representative for the service pillar. Now, I'm going to turn it over to our principal, Ms. Amy Hubner, a graduate of PCHS who has spent her entire education career in the halls of Pekin High. Thank you, Ms. Hubner.
Good evening to all of you, and thank you for joining us tonight to honor each of you, truly amazing young men and women. I feel extremely lucky to have been able to watch all of you grow from your very first day as a dragon at Dragon Day to the outstanding student leaders you are all today. Being initiated into the National Honor Society is a truly amazing accomplishment that does take continuous hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Each of the student inductees has consistently upheld the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society: character, scholarship, leadership, and service during their time as a student at PCHS, which is definitely a true feat in itself. Tonight, we remember that these students have been strengthened and supported by family, friends, and the faculty and staff members at PCHS. We thank all of them for their continued commitment and support for the students and their future endeavors. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our members of our Board of Education, as these individuals are dedicated to the students, faculty, and staff at PCHS and continually share in the joy of students' accomplishments. Our President, Ryan Wrigley, Vice President Quinn Barra, Secretary Eric Hill, and board members Steve Huey, Danny Holman, Terry Fisher, and Amanda Brown. I would also like to take a moment to thank our Superintendent, Dr. Danielle Owens, for her continual leadership and dedications to the faculty, staff, and students here at PCHS and our entire Pekin community. Together, we are going to be congratulating each of you tonight who have demonstrated academic strength, strong leadership, character, and continual service to others, all of which are the reasons you have been chosen to become members of the National Honor Society. We definitely look forward to seeing how each of you continue to contribute to our chapter, our school, our community, and definitely beyond. Students, as you move forward in life, remember, there will be obstacles, there will be doubters, there will be mistakes, but with hard work, there are no limits. Set your goals, make your plans, and chase your dreams. And now, as principal of Pekin Community High School, I certify that the National Honor Society Faculty Council has determined that each student has demonstrated that he or she possesses good character, is willing to serve, excels academically, and chooses to lead in a positive and an appropriate manner. Students, at this time, please unmute yourself so we can do the NHS oath. All right, and now for the oath. Will the students elected to the new membership in the Pekin Community High School chapter of the National Honor Society please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I state your name.
I
Owen. Pledge myself. To uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society.
Uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society.
To which I have been elected.
To which I have been elected.
I will be true to the principles for which it stands.
I will stay true to the principles for which it stands.
For which it stands.
I will be loyal to my school
Be loyal to my school.
and will maintain and encourage
Maintain
And encourage
my standards of scholarship,
scholarship,
character, leadership, and service.
character, leadership, and service.
Okay, you can put your hands down now. Members of the 305th chapter of the National Honor Society, I lay before you this challenge: to continue excelling in leadership, scholarship, and service, but most importantly, character. Without character, leadership is ineffective. Without character, scholarship is invalid. And without character, service is hollow. Stay true to yourself and your convictions, and make us all proud as you make your way in the world. At this time, I will turn it back over to our MC, Jason Presley.
All right. And now to introduce our new senior initiates, please raise your hand as your name is read. Allison Catherine Blagna. Darcy Marie Bush. Chelsea Marie Catton. Ryan Edward Collier. Vanessa Schuyler Fisher. Allison Rose Freilich. Brianna Marie Golden. Isabel Danielle Harris. Dallas Allen Michael Haynes. Cassie Lynette Keller. Aaron Bradley McClanahan. Kylie Deanna Faye Nash. Avery Renee Pearson. Chloe Elizabeth Powell. Madeline Leanne Pritchard. Owen Michael Pritchard. Kimberly Anya Valentine. Catalina Minna Vang. Cheyenne Rose Wyrick. The new junior initiates this year are, and do the same, raise your hand if your name is called, or once your name is called. Isabel Leanne Broughton. Andrea Eileen Brown. Emily Elizabeth Brown. Nico Sammy Brown. Taylor Christine Madonna Caddy. Sophia Kathleen Calloway. Logan Daniel Carrington. Tess Brooklyn Kasha. Adam Joseph Cash. Kanan Colton Clark. Curtis Kane Clark. Peyton Elizabeth Clemens. Ella Ruth Curtis. Amber Joanna Davis. Katrina Noel Doring. Brooks Alexander Flick. Madison Christine Forbes. Laura Catherine Gilmore. Taylor Ann Goss. Mason Edward Graber. Hunter Jacob Hawkins. Morgan Marie Haynes. Kale Israel Jacobs. Bennett Elijah Jennings. Tanu Kapoor. JC Brianne Knox. Alexander Joseph Kula. Andrew Joseph Lamb. Juliana Rose Lane. Savannah Marie Miller. Jaylee Grace Mosier. Ariana Rose O'Connell. Natalie Paige Owens. Cameron Russell Palladini. Reedy Pranav Patel. Jacob Owen Plant, Michaela Jane Porter, Natalie Christine Riggy, Alex Walter Rockhold, Angela Dawn Rockhold, Elizabeth Noel Faith Sandoval, Savannah Danielle Schultz, Delaney Grace Shortino, Ethan James Seidel, Noah Ryan Savory, Claire Evelyn Stilling, Derry Amanda Stuber, Erin Elizabeth Sturch, Braden Matthew Thompson, Morgan Danielle Vermillion, Lily Ryan Wagaman, Emma Noel Wolf, Lacey Maylee Jane Warhol, Grace Elise Mason Wyman, Braylin Marie Zimmerman. I would like to personally congratulate every new member as you have persevered through all the difficulties of academics, athletics, and any other extracurriculars you may have been involved in. Your hard work has paid off, and I know you will all provide Pekin Community High School National Honor Society with a positive image and a great group of members for years to come. I also would like to thank all of you for attending this year's NHS ceremony via Zoom. Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations to each and every one of you. We obviously wish we could have had a ceremony here at school, but I can't tell you how amazing it is to see all of your faces and all your smiles. Definitely, I think, made not only our day, but our entire week or the rest of the year for sure. But I am truly proud of each and every one of you, because to become a member of National Honor Society takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication, a lot of service, a lot of leading over the last 4 years or 3 years of high school. So congratulations to all the dragons that have been initiated tonight.
Congratulations to everybody, and I can't wait to work with juniors who will be the incoming seniors. And thank you guys for attending. You will get an email tomorrow with the digital ceremony, including this recorded portion on it. So have a good night. And we'll see you guys soon.
Congratulations to all of you. Take care and stay healthy.